Hello guys, can anyone confirm whether my voice is audible or not? Either in the chat or... Okay, before starting the event, let us play a small game. And let us test our knowledge. I will just share my screen. So is my screen visible, guys? Supraja, is my screen visible?
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay. Start joining, guys. I hope the game pin is visible, right? Start joining in Kahoot, play.kahoot.it or else www.kahoot.it. Just enter this game pin. We will start the game and then let us continue with our topic. Come on, guys. We have 8 here, so I need all the 8 people to join the game. We have less people, right? So let us make it so interactive. Now it's 10, 8 people. Come on, guys. Out of 8, we have only 2 people in the game. Everyone in the team, sorry, everyone in the meet join the game, irrespective of what you are. Okay. Suman, Sahitya, and Sam, Anubhya. There are some people, Satish, Supriya, Bharat. Come on, guys. Ravi Kishore, sorry, Ravi Krishna. I will wait for 1 more minute. Join, guys. Join in the game. I will start exactly at 7:30. Come on, guys. Only 5 people. Okay, I will start the game. Get ready, guys. Two people answered. 3 people are yet to answer. Time is up, guys. Okay. Majority of the people are correct. 2 of you are correct. Okay, let's see the scoreboard. It's Sahitya and Suman. Good, guys. Hey, easier question it is. Okay, other 4 people. Hey, what happened to other 2 guys? Okay, another one. We have 6 minutes, 6 seconds left. Okay. Why did you guys confused here? Okay. Anyway, the answer is supervised, unsupervised, and association and what is it? Reinforcement learning. Okay. You guys thought only 3, but it's 4. Okay. A bit trickier question. Another 2 people. Okay, clustering is the right answer. Let's see the leaderboard. It's again the same people. Saichi and Sumant. What happened to other guys? You are not even playing or what? Okay. It's again related to DevOps. Okay. Only 3 answers? 4. Well, only one person is right. Let's see who it is. Expected. It's Sumant. Okay. This is related to machine learning. Guess the order. Be fast. No answers yet. Time is coming to close. Only 2. Okay. Okay. One person got it right. Let's see who it is. I guess it's Sahitya. Okay. What are the standard tools used in DevOps like cycle? Only 3. It's a easier question, guys. Doka, all the people have got it right. And now I can see one person rising up. It seems. Who is it? It's Kavya. Good. Last question, guys. True or false? A simple question. I want everyone to answer. There's one person who is always missing out. Who is he? Or who is she? Let's see. Okay, time is up. Oh, all the people got it right. And the winner is, oh, it's third place. Kavya. Good. Sahitya. And then Suman. Okay. Okay, guys, I hope you have enjoyed this thing. Now let us go into the content itself. Sahitya, sorry, Supraja, you can continue. I'll give you the
Oh,
second
yeah.
chance. Okay.
Is my screen visible?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So, guys, today we are gonna look at what is MLOps. Okay. First of all, before diving deep into the webinar of the MLOps, so let us discuss what are the contents we are gonna discuss in this session. So, these are the key takeaways in this session. That is, what is MLOps and what is the need of using MLOps, and the entire workflow, and what are the challenges and goals. Okay. First of all, coming to what is MLOps. So, before diving deep into the MLOps, so first of all, what made MLOps, engaging in this particular future or in technology? So, what is the main reason in the particular technology is getting boomed in future? Okay, first of all, over the past years, so generally, ML before coming existence into the, like a practical knowledge, so many of the schools introduce the basic artificial intelligence, machine learning concepts as a particular subjects. But nowadays it become practical as well as it is more industrial. So it is not only a subject and it is a industrial one. So in order to gain a particular business benefits, so we are turning the ML models into the production. So here comes the actual picture of the MLOps. So actually, if you invested some money, so so what is the reason of investing money? So in order to gain some benefit, right? So in order to save your money. So here comes the actual picture of the MLOps. Okay. So first of all, what is MLOps? So MLOps is nothing but combination of the machine learning, DevOps, and data engineering. Here, ML, the word ML OPS, this stands for ML stands for machine learning and OPS stands for DevOps. Okay, it is a combination of all the, it is a combination of these concepts. So finally, it is MLOps. So before, let us look at the actual traditional coding versus ML. Okay, in the traditional coding, we'll generally use the basic things like, so let us understand by using an example. So, for example, if you have a resume and you want to extract the data in the tabular format, so how can we do that? So, we'll write some code, we'll put some logic into it, and in the resume, so we'll extract the PDF format into the in the code, and we'll finally extract the data in the tabular format. Okay, so it is done using the traditional coding method, but it is not the case with the ML. So in machine learning, first the data is extracted and we'll train unless and until we get the perfect model. So more the quality of the data that we extract, more the quality of the model. So if you make a new changes, it doesn't get affected in the traditional coding method. So in traditional coding method, if you want to add a particular thing or like that, so if you want to insert a particular row or particular column, for example, in resume, if you want to add any parameter like that, so it is difficult in traditional coding. So you need to write some extra logic, but it is not the case with the ML. So we'll continuously train a model. So in order to get it well versed model. Okay. So I have just said what is MLOps. So in this MLOps stands for, it is a combination of ML and data engineering as well as DevOps. Okay. So in the data engineering, we'll generally cover the pipeline data and we'll entirely monitor in the data engineering. Okay. So in data engineering, we'll generally pipeline the entire data and we'll monitor the data. Okay. Actually, DevOps is nothing but it is the the layer of the DevOps. Okay. So DevOps is actually the layer of the ML. Okay. So using this, we can generally predict the predictor models in a better way. Okay. So let us look at the need of MLOps. So what is the need of using MLOps nowadays? So what made the MLOps emerging more into the world? Okay. First of all, in order to answer this particular question, so let us have a look at the basic workflow of the ML. So in order to build a particular machine learning model, we generally start with the data, right? So in order to start with the data, first of all, we'll explore all the entire data within the data set, and we'll remove all the inconsistencies within the data set, and we'll clean the data first of all. So where we get the data, so from the multiple sources, we'll collect all the data and we'll perform whatever all the operations we need. Okay. Next, if we have the more quality of the data, we'll get the more better the model is. Okay. Actually, generally, versioning is the one. It is mainly used in this MLOps. So the main advantage of the MLOps is nothing but versioning. So generally, if we say like any particular software or any Windows update like that, so generally we'll have version 2.8.0 or a version 2.8.1 like that. But the entire software versioning is entirely different from the MLOps versioning, guys. So actually, what happens with the general software versioning is that they will add a few more updates and they will versionize the the whatever all the updates they are going to add into the particular software. But here, will in MLOps, we'll generally train by writing some codes. By writing some codes, in the sense, we'll continuously train a model by using the training datasets as well as the testing datasets. Okay. So finally, let us look at the what are the actual needs of MLOps. Just now, I have said that versioning is the main need of MLOps. So in this, we'll versionize the entire data. The source data as well as its attributes. Okay. So if you have any particular data, or if you want to add a particular column into a data set, so we'll carry out all the works by adding initially to the data. Okay. Next one is experimentation. In this experimentation, we'll generally carry out. We'll generally carry out the works based on the, exploration. Okay. Will Next one is track metrics. In this, we'll generally keeps the complete track of the, the workflow. So if we want to make any changes within the data set, or if we want to make any, alteration within the data set, so we'll completely keep a track of all that. And next ones will have a complete source control over the code. Okay, that is what the the versioning means. Okay, automation, proper validation at the stage deployment. Actually, what generally people think is, if you perform a model, if it is under the deployment stage, we'll generally think that it is okay, it is getting validated, or it is getting developed, deployment. Okay, but it is not the case, guys. Deployment starts actually, but it is the actual case that comes under. Okay, after deploying, the main thing that is getting into picture is monitoring. So if we get the data deployed, so we're not at all actually, not the end of the life cycle. Actually, this is the starting of the life cycle. We'll generally think that if we complete the complete project, it is getting deployed. So it is not the case. We need to entirely monitor, and we'll train, and we'll retrain the model based on the performance analysis. So based on the business needs, we'll generally look into the deployment again and again. We'll generally transform our data into the particular use business needs or use cases. Okay. So finally, what is MLOps, guys? It is nothing but will actually do to deploy model production, as well as will monitor and maintain the modeling production. So this is the main definition of the MLOps. Okay. Now let's look at the next thing, that is MLOps. As I have just previously said you about the MLOps, it is a combination of ML plus Dev plus Ops. It is nothing but machine learning as well as DevOps concepts as well as the data engineering. Okay. So in this, in the ML part, we'll generally experiment out. Here we'll understand the business problem statement, as well as we'll acquisite the data. In the development phase, we'll generally test, and we'll use the CI/CD models in order to deploy our data. And finally, in operation phase, we'll continuously deliver the data, as well as we'll continuously monitor unless and until and it meets the business needs. Okay. Next, coming to the challenges in MLOps. So, as how the version controlling is the main benefit. So, this is the main challenge also in the MLOps. So, as I have previously explained you about the versioning control, now let us look at the data validation. So, while deploying the particular machine learning model in the production, so you have to first do the data modeling as well as the model validation. So, data validation. So, what is mean by data validation as well as a model validation? So, for example, in data validation, if you have a set of the data, for example, if you take any CSV file or like that, so if you have 10 columns as your input, and generally you have no empty values or non-null values, you have all the particular data that is fully consistent, as well as there are no errors in your data. Okay. So in this, the first 10 columns as we have taken as the input. So next one is that if you want to make any modifications, so we can easily modify the data, but the 10 columns is given as the input, so non-empty values. So here we'll look at the any inconsistencies and all that. So if you want to enter any data, so it should come under the category like it should not contain any non-empty, the empty values. Okay. It should always be a numerical one, or like a categorical data, not only categorical data, the data that should be not null. Okay. And in data validation, we also look at the parameters like the basic data types. Okay. So this comes under the data validation. Next one is model validation. So in this, generally, when we set the model is validated. Okay. So first of all, we'll deploy some of the pilot projects in our while building a model, and finally, while building a model, we'll generally consider when it comes to the deployment phase. So we'll generally consider that our data is about to deploy. So though we deploy, but it should be monitored unless and until we get the business needs, unless it meets the business needs. Okay. So this is the one of the challenge in the MLOps. And next one is creating pipelines. So generally we'll create the pipelines as well as So mainly, what is the need of creating the pipeline? So here we'll have a more set of the data, and we'll create pipelines, and we'll divide each and every pipeline into the sets of the data. I mean, the sets of the data, as well as we'll store it into the chunks, and we'll log the particular data, so that we can easily get, if you have a source of the data, and we'll divide the source of the data into the particular, I mean, 3 or 4 chunks of the data based on your data availability or the data that you have collected. And in that, from that, we'll create a logs. So based on creating logs, so we can easily get that, we can easily come to know where the errors are. I mean, where we are making mistakes in collecting the data. Okay. So finally, next one is modern monitoring and maintenance. So in this, though we make mistakes also, that are not at all limited. So actually, for example, if you take a recommendation system, or for example, if you browse Facebook also, so the number of persons, I mean, who are browsing the Facebook or like that, any social media. Okay. So this comes under the modern monitoring. So this is the one of the unique challenge in the MLOps. So this is getting highlighted nowadays. So this is the challenges on MLOps. Okay. Next, let us look at the basic workflow of the MLOps. Generally, ML generally contains the data as well as a model. So, coming to the data one, actually, collection of the information, will get the different sources from the disparate, sources. Okay. From this, the data get modeled, and in this, the while entering into the modeling phase. So, first of all, we need to understand the business problem statement. So based on the given problem statement, we need to finalize a model. So first of all, we all collaborate with each other, and we'll train our data, and then we'll validate, and we'll deploy, and finally we'll monitor. So deployment is not at all the final one. There is another phase called monitoring. So in this, after getting monitored, the data should be again trained unless and until it meets the business requirements. Okay. Next, coming to the in the day phase, it generally multiple users. So if you have a particular data set, and if a particular user, or not another user, so for example, if there are multiple data scientists, so if they want to add any particular data within the data set, so they no need to work at the same pace. So they can work from the multiple locations by I mean planning together. So this can be done using dev. Okay. In this phase, they can create and they can plan, and by using the servers in the cloud domain, so they can use it, and they can implement it. And next, coming to the ops phase, they can release, configure, and monitor. These are the three things that are mainly done in the ops. Okay. So this is the entire workflow, how the MLOps works is. And next, coming to the goals. So actually, we'll generally think like, what are the basic goals? So what is the need? I didn't find any needs of the MLOps. So finally, the goals are like faster experimentation. So generally, these are covered in the machine learning. Generally, in the machine learning, we'll generally train the data, test the data. So, but the major goal is that faster the experimentation and the model development. So we'll train a model in a better way, and coming to the quality assurance also. So in this, we'll assess the quality. So as I have previously said, more the quality of the data, the more the model quality is. So next, we're coming to the faster deployment of the updated models, and we'll continuously update our models. So based on the data availability or the data changing based on the given conditions, so the entire data is completely deployed into it, and finally we'll implement it in order to meet the business needs. Okay. First of all, these are the main things we need to keep in mind. So next one, in order to evaluate, test, and package the models into the containers. So generally pipelines are created, and generally pipelines are created. Okay. First of all, we'll evaluate a model, then we'll test a model, and we package the models into the containers. Okay. There were several pipelines, guys. These are mainly for what we'll collect the data in it, and entirely we'll process the data in it into the chunks. So if you have any errors also, we'll if you have chunks of data with the less, if you have a multiple all the data at a glance, so it is difficult to find out the error. So if you have chunks of data, so it is easy. So this is the main need of creating the pipelines, and here we'll create the logs. So next one is that first of all, in creating this, we'll collaborate, we'll train, validate, deploy, and monitor. So after monitoring, we'll enter into the training phase. So unless it meets the business needs, we'll continue this process. We'll retrain a model, and unless the model performance is done. Okay. So in the monitoring phase, so we not only come from the technical metrics like the performance based, or in order to support the particular latencies, so we'll also look at the model drifts. So actually, model drifts are mean nothing but what are the changes that are made in the business needs. So if a particular customer wants a particular change in the the business need, so we'll continuously modify it. So that is one of the drift that we have, model drift as well as a data drift. So these are the two drifts that we have in it. And next, coming to the these are the main goals. So next, let us look at how you engage the MLOps with ML. So generally, we have a doubt that why MLOps and ML they were differently classified. How it is engaging MLOps with ML. So let us look into it. So first of all, we'll create the multiple pipelines as ML. You have generally gone through the practical sessions of the ML. So for in order to score a data, as well as in order to get the data more validated, and we'll gain the data. We'll collect all the data from the disparate sources, and we'll create a multiple ML pipelines. So next, coming to the, we'll enable the reusable ML environments. Okay, first of all, we have multiple ML environments, like we'll reuse the ML environments. So next one, coming to that, register, will generally register for the deploying models, and we'll package it. So this comes under the dev phase, as I have previously explained you about it. So it creates the centralized repository of the all the models. So different data scientists make the different kinds of the experimentation with the different kinds of the data. Okay, so in this there will be a complete repository of the models, and here next we'll capture the governance data. So we'll look into it, and we'll explore all the data, and why the data is changed. We'll have a complete analysis of why the data is gonna change, and we'll generate the alerts. So generally the pipelines are created at the beginning of the data collection, but as I have previously mentioned you, that after deployment phase, it is not the final phase. We'll completely model it, and we'll retrain it. Okay, in this the retraining phase is completely of the, it already go through all the phases, and it will again start from the beginning, from the retraining the pipelines. Okay, in order to get the data more and more. Okay, next, finally, monitoring the ML applications. So we generally monitor all the ML applications. So who are the applicants that are who are the stakeholders of the application, and we need to monitor all those in it. And so this is the entire how the MLOps works with the ML. So this is all the entire session is about. And now let us look at the ML workflow. First of all, we'll get the data from the disparate sources, and here we'll develop, test, or feature the pipelines. Here, this is the entire, the data engineering, or the data engineer. First of all, he is not only the only one who, make the changes in it. The data scientist, as well as the several roles in the data science, gets involved into it. And here each and everyone performs the multiple workflows here, and the different workflows are get cloned, and here the centralized repository is getting created of the each and individual models of the each and every one person. Here the data ops, the data ops CI/CD platform is getting come into the picture here. And next one is the development model. So in this entire development process comes under the picture, and next we'll train the data as well as validate the data. Actually, this training and testing model is how we performed in the general ML thing. We'll move it in the same pace, like 70% testing data, 30% training data, like that. So this is how we perform the testing and validation model, and finally we'll deploy it. So after deploying also, as I have previously gone through the monitoring session, so we'll go through that monitoring phase, and as well as we'll retrain the data, and we'll go through the data as well as model drifts. So this is all about our session. Okay. Here, my MLOps CI/CD platform is nothing but it is where our data is getting trained. Okay. Here, the model training and the model validation comes under the picture of the MLOps CI/CD platform. So this is how the entire workflow of the ML. So thank you. If you have any doubts, you can ask us.
Yes, guys, do you have any queries? Is everything clear? Respond well. Mhm. Is there no doubts or anything? Okay, I will float a form right now. Uh, just fill that form for the feedback purposes. Okay, just give me a minute, guys. Okay, fill that form, guys.